Hey, what's up, guys? Kyle again, back with another video, and today I'm going to do my NFL Week 2 picks. Last week there, I went 12-4, overall 12-4. I also beat another YouTube pick video. Also, the Beast picks there, mostly hosted by the SS Ultimate Goku, aka Frank, and Kyle, aka the reigning 48 there. Not me, but the other Kyle there. Not not mistaken as me there, but the other Kyle from the SS or from the SS Ultimate Goku's picks. I actually beat them both this week there. So let's go into week 2 there, guys. So it's going into week 2 there. So, starting off the list there, we got Thursday Night Football, September 11th, 6:15 Mountain Time, prime video. We got the Washington Commanders at the Green Bay Packers there. I am going to go with the Commanders here. The Commanders look really good there with Jaden Daniels. I think Daniels is going to actually have a really good day against this Packers team there. The Packers have mostly kicked the shit out of the fucking Lions. Honestly, they've really kicked the shit out of the Lions here. But I just do not trust Green Bay in this game. I just do not trust Green Bay in this game. Yeah, they got a big game last week at home there. This week they're playing against the Commanders there. The Commanders look really, really better there compared to the Packers there. I just do not trust the Packers at all. I do not trust the Packers at all. With Jordan Love and stuff like that, I do not trust Jordan Love in the Packers there. Yes, they actually have a really strong running game with Josh Jacobs there, but they're going to actually have a really hard time there going against this Commanders team there. So I'm going to say, because of the thing there, I think the Commanders actually looks much better there on offense there. I think they're going to pressure Jordan Love all day in this game here. So I'm going to say Commanders over Packers. That's it for the Thursday night game. So we're on to Sunday, September 14th, 11 o'clock Mountain Time, first thing 11 o'clock games. We got the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm going to go with the Bengals here to win. The Bengals look really, really strong there, and I think they can actually get something fully going there against the Jaguars, who honestly looks really slumpy there. Yeah, they totally took a win last week there against the Panthers there, but I just do not see them actually try to beat this Bengals team there. This Bengals team looks really strong there with Joe Burrow there. Burrow, who actually can find his targets in this game here, and I think he can actually find his targets big time in this game, going against this Jaguars team, who honestly looked pretty good last week there, but I just do not see him actually try to beat the Bengals here. So I'm gonna say Bengals over Jaguars. Next game, we got the the New York Giants at the Dallas Cowboys. I'm going with the Cowboys here to win. I think the Cowboys look really good there. They mostly pressure the Eagles last week there. They almost beat the Eagles last week there. They look really, really solid there and stuff. I think they can actually do something against this Giants team there. Mostly the Giants are starting Russell Wilson there, so that's going to be not really that good. I think Prescott's going to actually have his way with this Giants defense there. Mostly Russell Wilson's going to get pressured. He's going to get sacked in this game here. Mostly that Cowboys defense looks really, really strong there, mostly basing off last week there. The Giants actually had the same issues last week there with the playing against the Commanders. I think they're mostly going to repeat that there this week there, going against the Cowboys here. So I'm going to say Cowboys over Giants. Next game, we got the Chicago Bears at the Detroit Lions. I'm going to go with the Lions here to win. I think the Lions technically had a fluke game against the Packers last week there. Mostly the Bears there was actually keeping up with the Vikings last week. They were mostly keeping up with the Vikings last week there. I think Dan Campbell there might actually show his true colors there, mostly going against this Bears team. This Bears team is really, really weak there, and I think they mostly will actually struggle there. I do not still trust Caleb Williams at all in this game here, and I think they're massively going to struggle there going against this Lions team. This Lions team still actually has a pretty good defense there with Dan Campbell, so I'm going to say Lions win it over Bears. Next game, we got the LA Rams at the Tennessee Titans. Titans are still starting with a rookie quarterback. It looks really bad for them there. I'm going to go with the Rams here. I think the Rams can get it done here against this Titans team. The Titans they're not that great there, and I think they're going to get their ass handed there. They technically got embarrassed by us last week there. Mostly that we beat them last week pretty badly. Or not really badly, but we beat them last week there. And I think they do not actually have all their guns there. They technically lost Sweat there. Technically Sweat is actually out for the maybe 4 or 5 weeks there. So mostly going against Stafford there and the Rams there. The Rams actually still have Mapuka there, so Mapuka is mostly gonna smoke them in the pass game there. So I think that's gonna be interesting to see this game happening. I'm gonna go with the Rams here to win over the Titans. I just do not trust the Titans at all in this game at all. Next game, we got the New England Patriots at the Miami Dolphins. Yeah, I'm gonna go with this. I'm gonna go with the Pats here. I'm gonna go with the Patriots here to win. The Patriots there got embarrassed last week against the haters there. They technically lost to the haters last week, and I think they were mostly looking for a revenge here. The Dolphins got their fucking teeth kicked in. Like seriously, the Dolphins got their teeth kicked in there. They didn't look the best there. They got their ass handed by the Colts there. The Colts walked over their ass there, and the fucking Dolphins are fucking dog shit. The Dolphins are fucking dog shit there. So, yeah, mostly going against this Patriots team there. The Patriots look really much better there. I do not trust Tua at all. I just do not trust Tua at all. Mostly trying to bounce back in this game here and stuff. I'm gonna say the Patriots win. I think the Patriots are gonna win this one against the Dolphins. Next game, we got the San Francisco 49ers at the New Orleans Saints. I'm going to go with the Niners here to win. I think the Niners actually have a little bit more advantage here over the Saints. Saints, they're kind of like in that rebuild stage type of stuff there. They're technically mostly in a rebuild stage there, so they're not even going to win a lot of games this year. I'm going to go with the Niners here to win with McCaffrey there. I think McCaffrey is mostly going to light them up here, and they're not going to expect what McCaffrey's actually going to fully do in this game. New Orleans there don't actually have a really good line or a really good defense there, so they're going to have massive struggles going against the Niners here. So I'm going to say Niners win it over Saints. Next game, we got the Buffalo Bills at the New York Jets. Ooh, man. This might be an interesting game here. Mostly the Jets there was actually keeping pace with the Steelers last week there. So they were keeping pace with the Steelers last week. So they might actually starting to turn around and starting playing some pretty good football here. The Bills there were down massively last week there against the Ravens. And they technically came back with a massive comeback there. It was like, what? I think it was like 41-25, and then they just, or 40-25, and then they just had a big margin there coming back. They looked really, really good there with Josh Allen there, who honestly won everybody's fucking fantasy lead this week there. Even he won me in my fantasy league this week there. So he came back in a big margin there. He did really, really well last week, and I think he's going to do the same thing against against the Jets there. The Jets there, I don't know if it was just because of Aaron Rodgers there, and they're mostly pissed off because they lost Aaron Rodgers, but they did put up a high-scoring game here. I'm going to say the Bills win it here. I do not trust the Jets there. Maybe they were just pissed off. I think the only reason why I think they mostly turn on the Jets against the Steelers there because technically Aaron Rodgers left them. So I think I can understand why the Jets actually did that there. But technically I'm going to say the Bills win it here over the Jets still. Next game. We got the Seattle Seahawks at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Going with the Steelers here to win. The Steelers look really, really sharp there, and I think they can actually look really, really outstanding there against the Seahawks team. The Seahawks there have been massively struggling there. They have never got a first down. They've been actually having struggles with the both sides of the ball there. They do not look that great there last week. They kind of didn't do well last week there at all. Mostly going against the Steelers team, who honestly was going neck and neck against the Jets there. I think I'm going to mostly say the Steelers win it here. I think the Steelers actually have a more advantage here. Mostly Aaron Rodgers is going to look really, really sharp in this game there and stuff. So I'm going to say Steelers win it over Seahawks. Next game, we got the Cleveland Browns at the Baltimore Ravens. I'm going to go with the Ravens here. I think the Ravens there look really, really sharp there, and I think they can actually do something there going against this Browns team, who honestly actually has a really pretty good defense there from last week there. They did really well last week there and stuff. But I'm going to say the Ravens win it. I think I mostly trust the Ravens here over the Browns. I do not trust the Browns at all because the Browns are mostly massively struggling there with a quarterback there on their offensive side there and stuff. But they kept it up with the Bengals last week there. But I do not see them do the same thing against the Ravens. The Ravens look really, really strong there. They actually had a massive lead there, and I think they might be pretty pissed off from losing against the Bills let the Bills come back on them. They might be pissed off on that. So I'm going to say Ravens win it over Browns. That's it for the 11 o'clock games. So we'll move on to the 2:05 games, Mountain Time. First on the 2:05, we got my Denver Broncos at the Indianapolis Colts there. So I'm going to go with my Broncos here to win. Reason why there, I think my Broncos can actually get something fully going there. The defense looked really, really good last week there, mostly sacking Cam Ward there 6 times there in that game. Mostly we did sack Cam Ward 6 times in that game there. Richardson there, or I don't know who's actually playing, possibly Richardson or Joe Flacco is possibly playing in this game here. Did actually smoke the Dolphins last week there. They did smoke the Dolphins last week there, but I think Miami's defense is not really the best there. Miami is not really actually have the best coach or anything like that. They're going to actually have a little bit more. I think the Colts are actually going to have a little bit more harder time playing against my Broncos defense there. My Broncos defense there looks really outstanding there. The only thing, I think the game might be a little bit close because I think mostly looking at the offense last week for us, it didn't look that good. It didn't really look that rosy there. But I think they're possibly going to bounce back this week. Mostly Bo Nix was pretty pissed off from the end of the game there. He was mostly pissed off there. And I think he's going to try. I think the offense is going to try to find their feet this week. And plus we got guys back like Greenlaw and stuff like that is back. So I'm going to go with my Broncos here to win. I think this is going to be a pretty close game there. I think this game's going to be close like last week. And I think we're going to win it here. So I'm going to go with my Broncos over the Colts. Next game, we got the Carolina Panthers as the Arizona Cardinals. Going with the Cardinals here to win. I think the Cardinals look really strong there, and I think they can actually do something going against this Panthers team. This Panthers team looks really, really slow there. They can't get nothing fully going there. So I'm going to say the Cardinals are actually possibly going to win this one. I can't really say too much about the Panthers there. The Panthers didn't do that well last week against the Jaguars. And I think they're mostly going to struggle again against the Cardinals here with Kyle Murray there with under helm and stuff. I do not trust the Panthers. So I'm going to say Cardinals over Panthers. Next game, we got the Philadelphia Eagles at the Kansas. That's it for the 205. Let's move on to the 225 Mountain Time. First on the 225, we got the Philadelphia Eagles at the Kansas City Chiefs. This game here, Mahomes, he's been massively struggling there. He has not been playing his best football there. The Eagles there look really outstanding there. I think the Eagles are going to fucking kick the fucking Chiefs' ass in this game. The Chiefs are not gonna respect the Eagles' offense there. The Eagles are gonna fucking kick their ass there. Even if they fought pretty well last week against the Cowboys last week. They did pretty well against the Cowboys last week and fought them hard. The Chiefs there were technically struggling against the Chargers. They were technically struggling against the Chargers there, and this is not going to be like no different here. I think the Eagles there look really, really strong there with Jason Hurts there. He looked really good there. He actually got a lot of yards last week. He looked really, really good there. Going against this Chiefs team there, who honestly is struggling there, massively struggling, and I think they're gonna get their. I think they're gonna get their asses kicked by the Eagles. I'm gonna go the Eagles over the Chiefs here. That's it for the 205 games. So we move on to Sunday Night Football, 6:20 Mountain Time, prime time NBC. We got the Atlanta Falcons at the Minnesota Vikings. Going with the Falcons here. I think the Falcons look really strong there. I think they can actually do something against this Vikings team. The Vikings do not look the best there at all. I don't really trust the Vikings at all. I do not trust the Vikings at all in this game. I think the Falcons look really, really strong here, and I think they can actually do something against this Vikings team there, who honestly did put up a win last week against the Bears, but they're not going to go against this Falcons team who honestly looks really good. So I'm going to say Falcons over Vikings. That's it for the Sunday games. So we move on to the Monday games, September 15th. First on the list there, we got a 5 o'clock game, ABC and ESPN. We got the Tampa Bucks at the Houston Texans. Going with the Bucks here to win. I think the Bucks can do something here. I think they can actually do something. Look really good there. The Mason Mayfield. I think I'm mostly going to trust the Bucks here and win and stuff. The Texans there, they have a new coaching staff there, so they're mostly going to struggle against this Bucks team there. The Bucks there, I mostly trust that there over the Texans. Texans have a new coaching team. Even if they do have C.J. Stroud there, who honestly is a really good quarterback, I do not see them with this new team there they actually have. They're massively going to struggle against them. So I'm going to say Bucks over Texans. And then we have the last game there, 8 o'clock game, Mountain Time, primetime ESPN. We got the LA Chargers at the Las Vegas Haters. Going with the Chargers here to win. I think the Chargers can do something against this Haters team. The Haters, they've been kind of mostly struggling there. They mostly played against the Patriots last week and mostly massively struggled there. The Chargers there mostly beat the living crap out of the Chiefs last week. I think I'm mostly going to trust the Chiefs over the Chargers here. I'm going to trust the Chargers over the Haters here. I think the Chargers can get it done here against the Haters. So, yep. Comment, rate, my response to Tuesday Bros. We like Black Bros. Please subscribe to the notification from the Super Bowl. Comment, response to Tuesday Bros. Like out, and peace.